Big week ahead. There is no other word to describe it. It is a must win. You are basically standing on the edge of one more loss away from this season getting out of hand. Because you look ahead after you get away from the bye week, and if you are a fan, you should be concerned. We'll see what happens with the health of John Mateer. We'll see if you can finally get your offense kind of going. Let's see if Lenore's can take some more shots down the field. But at the current moment, guys, you are in a state right now where you are in purgatory. You are in a stock market purgatory where the stock market will go up. It'll look like everything's trending towards the right direction for South Carolina. You have a 8 or 9 win season. You have a lot of starters that are returning. You have production that should be even better compared to what you had the year before. And then you come back the next year and you can't produce the same success, or at least repeat what you did the year before. That's a cause for concern. Because how long do you, as a fan base, accept this? Where several years ago, the norm for South Carolina was a 10-win season and a potential shot at a national championship. Where 2 predecessors before, you're talking about one of the greatest coaches to come through South Carolina. Just saying. So is there a lot of expectation? Is there a lot of pressure on Beamer? Yes, there is. There should be. I'm not going to sit here and say he's on the hot seat. I'm just being real. So, like I mentioned, the last 4 seasons, let me just go under what we've had as South Carolina. Your first season with Beamer, you start 2-2, 0-2 in SEC play. You finish 7-6. You get a win over Florida, Auburn, and North Carolina. The next year, you start at 2-2. You have an 8-5 season. You beat A&M. You beat Tennessee. You beat Clemson. 2 top 10 teams, by the way, at the end of that year. 23, you finished 5-7. You fell flat on your face because your offense could not get you. Well, really, your defense was not that good. Offense could do so much, but your defense just flat out sucked. 24, you have a bounce back year. You start 3-1 and you end up 9-3 with wins over a top 10 A&M. You beat Missouri and you beat Clemson. So through 5 seasons, you probably have been through more mediocrity than you could have imagined. And now you go into a week where this season as a whole has not been good for you. It has not been kind to you. You have struggled. You have no identity offensively. And right now, as it stands, you are in danger yet again of the same cycle repeating. Like I told you, that this could have an opportunity of getting ugly pretty soon. So I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. If you've been listening to us over the last couple of years or a couple of weeks, well, every talking points that we've had this season is that the cycle of up and down season after up and down season has been ridiculous. It has been the same old for South Carolina for a very long time. How do you break out of that cycle? Well, you got to change some things personnel-wise. That's where you start off. Guys, your offense right now, I'm reading you off some statistics about where you are offensively. And we said in the preseason, this is probably the most talented roster offensively that South Carolina has had return. But doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because you are dead last in the SEC in yards per game. You have 300 yards a game. 300 yards a game. You are dead last in rushing yards per game. You have one of the worst rushing offenses in college football. We hyped up Rasul Faison to be this difference maker, and we haven't had a breakout game from him yet. Missouri, we saw flashes. Apart from that, nothing. You are the second worst offense in points per game. Second worst offense in points per game. By the way, I don't think this is really new to some of you, but you do realize through the first 3 games of the season, something we hammered on a lot. You had 2, 4, 5, you have 7 touchdowns offensively through 5 games. Hush. 5 touchdowns through 7 touchdowns through the first 5 games first 4 games of the season. That's going to lose you football games, guys. You know that? I know that. You know, the most frustrating thing about all of this is that you are super talented. You have a lot of potential on both sides of the football. You know what your biggest problem has been? It's been both sides of the line of scrimmage. You have one of the worst rush defenses in college football, where in back-to-back games in Missouri, you give up 138 for Ahmad Hardy and 76 for Jamal Roberts. You allow a total of 285 yards of total offense compared to your -9. Against Vanderbilt, I think you gave up just under 200 yards, to be honest with you. It might have been more. Never mind. You gave up only 146 against Vanderbilt. But you know what they were on third down in both of those games? Between Missouri and Vanderbilt, they were 13 of 25, over a 50% third down conversion rate. You can't get off the field to save your life as you have pissed down your leg defensively. Chris Phillips was supposed to be on earlier today, but he had other stuff that he had to do. He got booked. It's all good. We'll have him on tomorrow. But where you are as a team right now, guys, it's not good. It's not good. You're undisciplined. You play like you're a bunch of freshmen. And you play like crap. That's why you're 2-2 instead of 4-0. You have a total collapse in the second half against Vanderbilt because you can't generate points off of turnovers, where you can't execute when it matters most. Against Missouri, whenever you can't tackle to save your life. Guess whose fault that is? That's nothing but your own. In two games, you had a total combined 22 penalties. You had 14 last week. That is unacceptable for a program that's supposed to be a national championship contender, that's supposed to be a dark horse for the college football playoff. That is unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. Oh, dude. Got to start asking tough questions, man, or answering tough questions. For example, what is the overall mentality of this team? What is the overall structure of this team? And to be completely honest with you guys, I think you have it right now. I don't. Nothing to prove me wrong. Through 3 weeks, dating all the way back to SEC play, when it first started 2 weeks ago. I would even go as far and say back to the South Carolina State game. I thought Virginia Tech game was, okay, it's a fluke. You know, it's first game. South Carolina State, my concerns were pretty much addressed through there. You know? I do apologize, by the way, for the consistent changing of our Wi-Fi. But I think we should be good. Trying to check the live feed and see if we're any better. There we go. Okay, we're good. Hey, if y'all are in the chat, how's our feed? Are we good? Y'all give us spurs up if we're good, if you're live in the chat. But all right. Anyways, Guys, right now, offensively, you're not good. Offensive line is getting beat inside. I think tackle-wise, you're kind of getting beat. I think Casey Henry has been your only real consistent offensive lineman. But you got to fix things, man. You got a lot to fix. And it's ridiculous to see the same BS that we've seen over the last year and a half, maybe two. Well, really the last 3 years. This up and down type of seasons that South Carolina has had. But that's where you are right now. We are live, guys. I know that I've gone 15 minutes on a little rant about this team, but I think it needed to be said. I think it needed to be addressed. We are live. This is South Carolina Live here on the Voice of College Football. I am your host, as always, Bill. Thank you guys for tuning in. Do us a favor. If you are watching us on YouTube, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Turn on that bell notification so that you are notified every time we go live here on SEC Live with the Voice of College Football. You can catch us out on Apple Podcasts. Rate and share to us. We greatly appreciate you guys' support. Every live is brought to you by our good friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Going over to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the Underdog Fantasy app on your Apple or Android device and use that promo code VOCFBSC. And when you play your first $5 lineup, you will get $50 instantly in free bets. That is Underdog Fantasy. VOCFBSC is that promo code. When you place that first $5 lineup, you will get $50 instantly in free bets. Must be 21 or older, not available in all states. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That is 1-800-GAMBLER.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
All right, so I wanted to go ahead and talk about some of my best bets for this weekend. I don't think there is any when it comes to South Carolina and Kentucky. I'm still looking right now, but I do want to kind of go ahead and talk a little bit about some of our best bets. Let's start off. Notre Dame going to Arkansas, which I think we'll go to that one. And we'll get it started, man. Really excited. Bam. Oh, bam. Let's start it off with that. All right. Taylor Green. I like this one. Over under 244.5 passing yards, 52.5 rushing yards, 310.5 pass plus rush yards. Give me Taylor Green over 244.5 passing yards. I thought Notre Dame's defense got exposed the last couple weeks of the season. I think they've been struggling a good bit throughout this year, especially in SEC play. I thought Texas A&M had their away defensively against this back seven. Marcel Reed with over 360 yards. I think that with what Taylor Green and company have to offer, it wouldn't surprise me overall if you are able to put together some things. And with a quarterback like Ryan Brown, who really didn't do a whole lot, threw for 260 yards. Guys, you talk about a quarterback that's better than him and more efficient than him and Taylor Green. Give me 244.5. Give me the over in that one. Looking some more in this one. Do expect Mike Washington to get involved in this offense as well. Give me him with an anytime touchdown, 0.5 over, and give me that one as well. Going to the Notre Dame side, I'll give Jeremiah Love. Give me lower on 103.5 rushing yards. I think this is going to be one of those games that Travis Williams' defense is going to find a way to make plays when it matters most. I think they have a game kind of like what they did against Tennessee last year. Really, really excited for this game. I think it's going to be a really, really underrated game when it is all said and done on a Saturday morning. Let's go to Ole Miss and LSU in this one. Garrett Nussmeier, 284.5 passing yards in this game. I'm going to go ahead and take the over in this one. I do think this is one of those games that LSU finally cleans up the passing game. I think he takes some more deep shots against the back seven that had struggled already the season. You saw what happened. They went against Spain. You saw what Taylor Green was able to do to them. This is going to be an offensive shootout, but I do think LSU will have the upper hand in this game because of where I think this offense is. I think they're much better than Tulane. I think Tulane got exposed. I thought Tulane was going to do more, but I was wrong. Trinidad Chambliss, he's a dog. He's really good. And I think LSU, if you're not careful, guys, he's going to make you pay. And he's going to make big plays when it's all said and done. Kewan Lacey, I'm going to take him over 60.5 rushing yards. I know this is a very fierce LSU front seven, but I do see Kewan Lacey breaking off a few big runs here and there. Bama, Georgia. This is an interesting one. Gunnar Stockton, 219.5 rushing yards. Give me the over in that one. I think that he's going to have a really good game. Going up against the Tennessee defense that I thought wasn't as good compared to what Alabama has. I do think he's going to find ways to throw the football down the field. He's got dudes that can go all the way. I do think he's going to have a big game in this one. I'm going to take him over 219.5 passing yards and over 34.5 rushing yards in this game. I think he's going to win some money. I think he's going to end up having a big game this week. I really, really do. Zachariah Branch, give me him over 37.5 receiving yards. He's going to make sure that he's going to make you pay, guys. I'm really, really hoping that somebody like him could very likely do some very good things. I think that going up against this Bama secondary that has really not seen a good receiver just yet. You saw what they did against Tommy Castellanos, struggled against them on the run. I think Gunnar Stockton's going to have a big day on the ground. I think Georgia comes out and I think they end up shocking a couple people, keeping Bama high on their heels in a high-scoring game. Okay, so that's my picks according to Underdog Fantasy. Once again, use VOCFBSC for your, and when you place that $5 or more, or when you place that $5 lineup, you will get $50 instantly in free bets. Must be 21 or older. One state's gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. That is 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's talk about Kentucky because that is important. And so I took the majority of today. And I did a lot of tape previews, and I literally did nothing but watch tape majority of the day. And let me tell you, Kentucky scares me a little bit. Let me tell you why they scare me. Why there should be a cause for concern if you are South Carolina. Right now, South Carolina ranks near the bottom of the SEC in rush defense. They're 15th. And they got blew up last week against what we saw last week with Ahmad Hardy. Who was the other one? God dog it, I had him right in my head. And what Jamal Roberts did yesterday. Both are top 10 in the SEC in rushing. Both can really do some interesting things. Both can really make a difference when it is all said and done. And seeing where you are defensively, they're not going to really throw the football a whole lot. I'm not saying Cutter Boley's a bad quarterback. I thought he made some difficult throws against Eastern Michigan. But again, it's Eastern Michigan. I'm not really too concerned, and I'm not going to look at that tape as being too much of a concern. You've gotten pushed around up front the last two games, and I'm not going to sit here and say that Kentucky's front five is good. They're not. I'm just being real with you. They struggle with blitz pickups. They have not been very consistent when it comes to scheming up different packages to get your quarterback confident. But again, they have a quarterback issue at the moment until unless you get a good transfer quarterback or unless you clean house offensively. He's just not. But again, we'll see. Cutter Boley's going to go into his first SEC start this year. What defensively they've done in this Brad White defense, I don't think that Kentucky is going to blitz a lot. You see the playmakers that South Carolina has. And if you are South Carolina, this is a great opportunity for you to let the bitch rip down the field. This is a perfect opportunity for you to do that. If you are a smart play caller, which I'm hoping Mike Shula gets out of his freaking head and actually calls a decent game, this is the perfect opportunity for him to dial up some gadget plays. So you have to, number one, go back to the drawing board. You got to get with Lenoris and you got to say, hey, I'm going to let you run this offense. It's either that or, look, Lenoris is a good kid. I know he's not going to go in there and argue with Mike. Mike hasn't called plays on a regular basis in 10 years. He doesn't look comfortable. And what he's trying to do is he thinks that the college game still is about standing in the pocket and trying to deliver a good ball, which we've seen a lot more of from Lenoris this year. That can be good, but in this case, it's really not. It's really not. It is a struggle. It has been aggravating, to say the least. So my tip to you if you are Shula, is let Lenoris rip the freaking football down the field. Guys, they're slow. Their skill position, they don't have speed. This is an opportunity for you to run freaking all go, and you're going to have 2 or 3 guys open. I'm telling you, you're going to have opportunities to rip the freaking ball down the field. Quit with this check down bull hockey. That's what you have to do. So, offensively, this is a perfect game for you to fix the issues that you have. Will you do it? I don't know. Come here. Come here, Rowdy. We got the mascot back in the building. Come here, Rowdy. Rowdy. Yeah, Rowdy. Always good fun when we have the mascot here at South Carolina Live in the building. But you're not going to defensively, you're not going to see Cutter Boley take a lot of shots down the field. It's going to start with your ground game. Seth McGowan and Dante Dowdle are the best 2 backs that Kentucky has had in the same backfield in a while. And they're going to establish the run early on. How can you do that? How can you shut it down up front? You did pretty well last year against them on the road in Kroger. Guys, you should win this football game by 20. But your offense has to get out of the Stone Age, man. Where's the creativity? Where's my pre-snap motion? They're going to run pre-snap motions defensively. It's not hard to recognize them. And look, if you can't recognize it and if you can't take advantage of it, you deserve to lose the game then. Because if you can't establish the line of scrimmage, if Clayton White can't adjust when it's necessary, you're going to get screwed. So you better figure it out, man. You had better figure it out. That's number 1. So let's go ahead and let's kind of look at a little bit of film of what you're going to expect from Florida this time. Or not Florida, but from Kentucky this time next week. Or this Saturday, really. Come here. Daggum dog wants to try and get into something. But that's nothing new for him. So, the first play we start off. Let's get it on. So again, these pre-snap motions are what you're going to have to expect. You're going to see a lot of tight ends move across the screen. They're going to get reach blocks all across to the right. They're going to try to hit it right behind this tight end. But our vision is so bad that we're going to be able to mog them in the backfield. I would say Ole Miss and South Carolina's defensive line are about the same. So realistically, this should be pretty easy to control the line of scrimmage. Now, obviously, this is with Zach Calzada starting, We know of it. We know that he will not be playing for some time soon. You got to get a rush on him, dude. You're not going to see them rush 3, but I don't think they're going to go ahead and run the football. They're going to run the football a lot. Passing wise, they're not good, dude. It don't matter who's in the game, whether it be Cutter Boley or whether it be Zach Calzada. They're simply not good. Offensively, they're not going to do a whole lot. I don't know what's wrong with Rowdy. I'm sorry, y'all. Saying Kendrick Law in motion. So I do want to point this out too, because I want you to watch one. Guys, Calzada doesn't look his way. He's going to be wide open in the middle of the field with a safety that he's going to beat. Calzada doesn't look his way. He goes to the tight end. If he keeps looking right here, he's wide open. I don't know if Cutter Boley is going to recognize this, because I do not expect for the first 2 drives, we're getting in the trash can, for him to throw the football a lot down the field. I just don't. It's not. You're going to establish the run game. Just to give, you get that tackle out, and if he can make this play, he gets some yardage. Guys, Bush Hamden's offense is really, really one-dimensional when you don't have a good quarterback. That's where the run game starts to get relied upon. I do expect screens. That's what you're going to expect. I thought you did a good job of getting your tackles involved, especially on screens, pulls, whatever it was. I think Kentucky's going to do a lot of that for this Saturday. Guys, you got to beat the guards. You have got to beat these guards. Guys, 75 and 58, they're not good. So I need Clayton White to freaking load the freaking box up and get after this young quarterback. You need to expect that for this weekend. Force Cutter Boley to take control of the game, or at least attempt to, and tackle in the open space when it matters. Guys, I don't care who it is, whether it be Seth McGowan, whether it be Dante Dowdle, whether it be Kendrick Law. You need to tackle in the open space. This is what has gotten you beat in the past. And this is what will continue to get you beat. You've got to win the line of scrimmage, guys. You have got to win the line of scrimmage. I didn't think they were good front four-wise. Just being honest with you. I thought they struggled pretty early in the game, and I did not have a lot of confidence knowing what they were going to do. I thought they struggled near the end of the game when it mattered. Defensively, I thought they gave up a lot of big plays, and I did not think that they were aggressive. You better go find your guys, man. I mean, offensively, you've gone through 7 or 8 different lineups since the beginning of the season. And we've played 8 total halves of football. You still have yet to find your guys. This is what is getting you beat consistently. This is what will continue to get you beat until you fix it. Until you stop being so robotic with your play calling. When you stop running inside zone right behind your guards who are getting their ass whipped up front. When you finally stop leaving Lenoris in the pocket for him to fend for himself when he's getting whipped up front. Guys, I'm not saying that. Let me give you my final thoughts from this Saturday. I got a chance to watch. We're still waiting on the tape because I didn't get a chance to watch the game because I was at the LSU game covering it. You all saw my story, I'm hoping, or saw my Instagram or Twitter posts. I posted on just about all my social medias, but the little I did watch, the majority of what I saw was whenever the rush came on for Lenoris, twice he rolled out instead of stepping up in the pocket, and he ended up losing more yardage. Now, I understand that part of that is because there may be a little bug in his head that says, hey, I'm not trying to get concussed again. I'm not trying to get another big hit. So, man, you better figure it out. And good Lord, guys. How much more of this can you accept defensively or offensively? Seeing your quarterback get their ass handed to you. Guys, Mike Shula's got to go. We know that Lonnie Teasley has to go. The one guy that I want you to keep at the end of the day is Sean Elliott. Guys, Sean Elliott should have been your offensive line coach at the minimum. Guys, Sean Elliott has the most experience. He was there when the head ball coach was here. The OC when the head ball coach was here. Even though it was the head ball coach calling plays. Guys, he was here. And I'm not saying that he should be elevated to offensive coordinator. I don't think would be a possibility. I don't think Beamer will hire from within anymore. Because it's just, if he does it again after this year, oh my gosh. How stupid would one have to be to do that? You're basically setting yourself up for a repeat of what happened this year. So you better, guys, you have to find a way to get back to what you were at. You have to find a way to expand offensively, or else you're going to get left in the freaking mud and get drug. That's just the bottom line, guys. But that's the reality of where we stand right now when it comes to South Carolina football. Let's go ahead and let's look at the future opponents for the next couple of seasons for South Carolina. Because this is a really, really interesting group. So 3 permanent opponents were just named. We talked about this on the video. If you haven't checked that video out, go ahead and check it out in the description. It's on South Carolina Live at the Voice of College Football's YouTube page. Y'all go ahead and head on over there, like, share, and subscribe. Here's the link, by the way, so that you guys can go ahead and why don't you go ahead and subscribe? You know what I mean? We're on our way to 600 subscribers. We lost 2 on the weekend, man. What the heck? Why did we lose 2? This is BS. This is stupid, man. But anyways, let's talk about the future opponents. First of all, permanently, you got Georgia, you got Kentucky, and you got Florida. We talked about it yesterday. If you want the full analysis, go check out the YouTube. For 26 next year, you will have Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Tennessee, and A&M at home. Interesting slate. Away games, Bama, Arkansas, Florida, Oklahoma. I can't say I hate it. Shit. My bad, Rowdy. I woke up my dog. But 27, Florida, LSU, Missouri, Texas, all at home. Auburn, Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Vandy at home. 28, you get Bama, Arkansas, Georgia, Kentucky, Oklahoma at home. Florida, Mississippi State, Tennessee, A&M at home. So it's kind of, you rotate every 3 years, which I guess that makes sense, knowing that you're playing 9 SEC teams. So I guess different 3 every other year, which makes sense. So, I mean, I don't hate it necessarily, but I do think that this could have been aligned much better for South Carolina. I do think that you could have had more of an opportunity to get some better opponents. Your 3 permanent ones, you could have had Missouri. I think they would have replaced Kentucky. Kentucky would have replaced one of theirs, because I think the Missouri game, it's got to be a permanent one, man. The Mayor's Cup, I mean, that's a pretty good rivalry, man. It's a really, really good rivalry. So that's my 2 cents on it, guys. I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you have your suggestions. But how do I end off the show? Well, number 1, in order for you to come out with a victory this Saturday, you got to find a way to to win the line of scrimmage. They're not good offensive line-wise. So you better go out there early on and punch them in the mouth. Get you a stop and let your offense work. Get your playmakers the football. Improvise. Get guys like Vandravius Jacobs the football. Find ways to get Nick Harbor the football on go routes. Send him on a double go and let him work, guys. You're not giving him those opportunities. That's why you are struggling right now, because you don't put trust in your playmakers when it matters most. That's what's going to get you beat. That's what's going to continue to get you beat, and that's what will always get you beat until you change it up offensively. That's the bottom line, guys. Whether we like it or not, that is where South Carolina is at as a whole. That's where they will continue to be as a whole until you change it up offensively. But right now, the offense is a joke. Offense is not even close to where they need to be. So you got a lot of things to fix this week. Beamer's got to start asking some tough questions, man. You know, I know that he and Will Gunner got into a little spat about the leadership meeting, but I understand both sides of it. Number one, don't ask BS questions about that. It's a leadership meeting for a reason. It's behind closed doors. Nothing of that needs to be disclosed to the media. The fact that Will would even ask a question like that is asinine, and he knows better. Shame on you, Will. You know better. I also get Shane's side of it as well. He should not have responded that way. So I say shame on Shane as well. Shane should not have reacted the way he did. Don't go on social media and say things like that. Keep your business to yourself. Let them spin it how they want. I don't know, man. That's just a whole different ordeal about that. I got to go, guys. Rowdy's whining. I'll let him go. I'll let him go pee probably. Guys, we'll see you guys on Friday. Y'all have a blessed day. We'll see you guys then. Peace.